Hello and welcome to a track guide of Bedford GT in an Ariel Atom 4. Now this guide is going to be quite specific for my car setup, so if you don't quite have the same setup you might want to take different gearing or different turning points, braking points, etc. But this should hopefully get you in the right ballpark with lines. Okay, so the car itself is an Atom 4. It's the 350 horsepower one with the front and rear aero. It's on standard factory setup geometry, so it's not the track specific geo, it's just the standard road setup. It's running Öhlins set to the factory track setup, so that's just whatever they recommend in the manual. That's what it's set to. It's on AO52s, and that's also running Ariel's recommended pressures in the manual. So for that I did a couple of laps, came back into the pits and took some air out of the tyres to get them back down to the factory recommended pressures. Whether or not that's the correct thing to do, I'm not sure, but I was still alive at the end of the day and the car felt fine, so I think it's fine. So the car doesn't have any traction control and I'm in Boost Map 2. Boost Map 2 is my favourite map. It just gives a more consistent feel for me and I think it suits my driving style. A lot of people prefer 3, some prefer 2. It's just a preference, I think. Just don't use Map 1 or you'll be going around very slowly. Now the key thing to look out for at Bedford are the green and orange cones. So on your sighting laps, have a look to see if they've put them out. The green cones in this particular instance were for turning points and orange for your apex. And on the whole they were pretty bang on, so it's a really good starter for 10 to use those cones. The other key thing at Bedford is to absolutely abuse track limits. So there are plenty of flat curbs here that you can take. In my opinion, as long as you've got 2 wheels the correct side of the white line, you're all good. It's fair game. The lap itself is pretty respectable. I think it was a 1:36.8, and that's with an overheating car, a little bit of traffic, and a couple of ballsed up corners. So I've got the racing driver excuses out the way. That means if you go quicker than me, I'll still be able to sleep at night. Turn 1 we are braking just at the pit exit by the brake board and we're going down from 5th to 3rd. Your apex is the post in the middle of the corner. So there we go, we're down into 3rd now, we're looking for that post. There it is, spotting the apex, and we're running and using all of the runoff. Trying to keep 2 wheels trackside. Pretty much bang on. And here we go, heading down to turn 2. We're keeping right here, we're up into 4th gear. This is the 4th gear corner, so we're all the way out on the right and we're ready to straight line this chicane. Here we go, we could use more of the apex on the left here, but we're straight lining this, trailing into the apex. A little bit too much track there, and then here we go, ready for this left. We're keeping this tight, staying in 4th. Balance the throttle, you might be able to get it flat, but watch out for any bits of oversteer. And we are going up into 5th in this mid-corner section, looking for this little drain on the right hand side, that's our apex, and we're running out and using plenty of the track on the outside. Making our way over to the right and down from 5th into 4th at the marker. You could use 3rd, but I find it smoother to stay in 4th personally. Our apex is quite late here, there's a little cone on the inside here, a little orange cone just there, and there's another late apex coming up here. Another orange cone, you might be able to see it just there. Watch out, this can be quite slippy, as you can see, a little bit of oversteer there. So just be careful there, make sure you get those 2 late apexes, otherwise you'll be pushing wide. We're aiming for the marker, we're braking just before it here and we're going down into 3rd gear. This is a super late apex, so turn in just where that green cone was and spot the apex. It's a massive post, there it is. As soon as you're there you can be flat. There we go, we're flat and we're running using all of the track on exit. Now you've got a bit of time to chill out. This is just a very easy straight up into, should be 6th gear by the end of it. I think my car was overheating a little bit on the day, so I was at 139-ish on the dash, so I think it was probably around 10 miles an hour down from what I'd seen on previous days. Here we go though, coming past this car ready for the braking zone. This corner is a 5th gear corner and we are braking between the 3 and the 2. Here we go, down to 5th. There's a little green cone on the right that we're kind of using as our turn in there, and we are smashing this left hand apex here, running all over that. And if the Porsche wasn't in the way we would be using all of the right as well. There's loads of time that can be made up from just abusing the curbs here. Right, this next corner is a third gear corner, so we're going to be braking just after this 3 board and going down from 5th into 3rd. There's a green cone on the right hand side, you can use that as your turn in reference. I think I turned in slightly too early here and have to get out the throttle mid corner, so it is definitely later than you think. There's an orange cone in here, is a good reference. And then off we go, we're straightening out, we're up into 4th here. We're going to brake very slightly just where this board is, aiming at these cones, and we're going to turn in just at that line there. Be patient with this one. It's a longer corner than you think, and you can get a bit of oversteer on the exit here. Make your way over to the right hand side. Very slight dab of brakes just at that board. We're turning in here. Be careful here, there's no rumbles on the left hand side to run over. You want to use all of this on the right hand side though, and as soon as you've straightened up, very small dab of brake, and we're turning in for this left hander. Use all of the rumbles here and all of the rumbles on the exit. This next corner is the slowest corner on the track, and we absolutely balls it up. So we're up into 5th gear here. We're braking, we should be braking just before this board, but we brake way past it. This is down into 3rd gear, really slow. Turning in where that green cone is again. As you can see, we sail past our apex, so you really want to be tight to that apex and be more over to the left than I am here. But we try and make the best of it, so we're up into 4th gear here quickly. We're just a little brake at this line here, and we're aiming for this cone on the right hand side. So really try and aim as if you're going to hit the cone, and then out we go. Watch out on the apex, on the exit there's a little drainage ditch that can kind of suck your wheel in, so avoid that. Okay, we've got a little bit of respite on this straight here. We're going up into 5th gear, and we're going to be braking just after the 3 board, so somewhere between the 3 and the 2. I think I'm just after the 3 board. We're going down into 4th gear, and we're going to turn in. On this particular lap we turn in too early, but we should be turning just a bit before the green cone up ahead on the left. We turn in too early. The apex should actually be where this bit of grass pokes out the track there, but because I've turned in too early, I've held the steering too tight, and we've got opposite lock here, and we lose a bunch of time here. This final corner, we're braking just at this post, little bit of brake, get it in, use all of the curb on the right, and use all of the curb on the left. I don't use as much as I should, so you could definitely carry some more speed through here. And that is a lap of Bedford GT.